In 2025, Jennifer Aniston, one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces and one of its most misunderstood women, finally said the quiet part out loud. On Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, she admitted something that instantly split the internet. She never wanted to adopt. Not because she couldn't have kids, not because of time or fame or fear, but because, in her own words, I want my own DNA in a little person. It was blunt, raw, and, as some called it, selfish, but it was also painfully human, a glimpse into a private truth the public has spent decades demanding she explain. The comment ignited what Jennifer Aniston has known all too well for years, the war between a woman's private choices and the world's obsession with them. The actress, now 56, didn't offer excuses or euphemisms. That's the only way, selfish or not, whatever that is, I've wanted it, she said. And with that one sentence, a Hollywood myth cracked open. The narrative of Jennifer Aniston as the woman who never had children, once whispered, analyzed, and weaponized, finally got its unvarnished truth. But the reaction was fierce. Online fans debated whether her words were honest or insensitive. Some called her statement a cold dismissal of adoption. Others defended her right to want what she wants. She's not anti-adoption. She's just finally saying what millions of people secretly feel but are too afraid to admit. Yet others bristled. Parenthood isn't about DNA. It's about love. In a matter of hours, Aniston's confession transformed from a personal reflection into a social flashpoint about genetics, motherhood, and identity. What makes the story so fascinating is that it didn't come from a new star chasing headlines. It came from a woman who has spent more than half her life trying to escape them. To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to rewind through the strange evolution of Jennifer Aniston, from America's sweetheart to Hollywood's most scrutinized woman. Back in the 90s, Aniston was at the center of a cultural explosion. Friends wasn't just a sitcom, it was a generational pulse. And Rachel Green wasn't just a character. She was a fashion movement, a lifestyle, a mirror for millions of women navigating independence. But with fame came obsession. The tabloids didn't just want Jennifer the actress, they wanted Jennifer the wife, Jennifer the mother, Jennifer the cautionary tale. When she married Brad Pitt in 2000, the public romance was treated like a royal union. And when it fell apart 5 years later, it became Hollywood's favorite morality play. She was painted as the career woman who didn't want kids, the cold foil to Angelina Jolie's globe-trotting motherhood. That narrative, fictional, cruel, and wildly persistent, stalked her for 2 decades. In interviews, Aniston has repeatedly dismantled that myth, but the headlines rarely listened. In 2022, she revealed that she had spent years privately battling infertility, undergoing rounds of IVF, drinking herbal teas, doing everything she could. She said, "I was throwing everything at it. I would have given anything if someone had said to me, 'Freeze your eggs.'" But the ship has sailed, she told Allure. Her tone wasn't bitter, it was free. She had found peace, but the public had not. Fast forward to 2025, and this peace was tested again. On Armchair Expert, when Monica Padman, who herself had frozen her eggs, asked Aniston if she had found serenity on the other side of her fertility struggle, Jennifer didn't hesitate. She said, "It's so peaceful." But then came the raw addendum. When people say, "But you can adopt," I don't want to adopt. I want my own DNA in a little person. That was the lightning bolt. What the internet missed, though, was the layer beneath that sentence. She wasn't dismissing adoption as unworthy. She was admitting a grief most people hide, the grief of something that will never happen, the desire for something that feels cellular, irreplaceable, beyond logic. For her, adoption wasn't a consolation prize. It wasn't the same dream. It's not politically neat, but it's emotionally honest. And that's exactly why it rattled people. Her choice of words, selfish or not, is telling. It shows the years of judgment she's absorbed, the preemptive apology baked into every truth women in her position feel they must deliver. Because when it comes to motherhood, the world demands purity. No ambivalence, no personal logic, no limits. You either must want it badly or justify why you don't. Jennifer Aniston has lived her entire adult life inside that impossible binary. The scrutiny hasn't just been about her womb, it's been about her entire body. In her powerful 2016 essay, For the Record, she wrote, "What I am is fed up. I'm fed up with the sport-like scrutiny and body shaming that occurs daily under the guise of journalism." She described paparazzi staking outside her home, tabloids spinning every meal into a pregnancy rumor, every bikini photo into an "is she finally expecting?" headline. We are complete with or without a mate, with or without a child. We get to decide for ourselves what is beautiful. That essay was a cultural roar. One of the first times a Hollywood A-lister directly attacked the machinery of celebrity gossip, calling it out not just as invasive, but socially toxic. She said, "The objectification and scrutiny we put women through is absurd and disturbing." And the truth is, she's right. For decades, the tabloids made her body a national conversation, her private heartbreak a commodity, her identity a guessing game. And the irony? Jennifer Aniston never wanted to be the face of feminism. She just wanted to live without being dissected. But in resisting that scrutiny, she accidentally became a symbol of it, a woman navigating the collision between private agency and public expectation. Then, as if to underline her lifelong pattern of refusing what everyone expected, she revealed something else on the same podcast. She once turned down Saturday Night Live. Before Friends, before superstardom, she was offered a spot in the cast but said no. Why? Because, as she remembers, she walked into Lorne Michaels' office and told him she didn't think women were treated well enough on the show. It was such a boys' club, she said, laughing now, at her 20-something boldness. Who F was I to say that to Lorne Michaels? It's the same defiant streak, the same refusal to accept someone else's structure. She wasn't trying to be righteous, she was trying to be herself. And that, in the most Aniston way possible, has always been both her greatest strength and her public curse. When people think of Jennifer Aniston, they think of control, the immaculate hair, the measured calm, the tasteful public persona. But behind that, she's been fighting for something far more primal: the right to not explain herself, the right to not make her private dreams a public referendum. That's why her latest confession matters, not because it's shocking, but because it's real. After years of speculation about whether she should just adopt, she finally said what many people privately feel, but are rarely voiced. It's not noble, it's not politically sanitized, it's human. And in the age of polished celebrity messaging, humanity can sound like heresy. The backlash, of course, reveals more about us than about her. We live in an era where authenticity is demanded, but punished. When she says, "I want my own DNA in a little person," what many people hear is selfishness. But what she's expressing is longing, the ancient biological pull to see yourself continued, to make your past tangible. And she admits that the moment has passed, that her story didn't end with a baby, but with acceptance. It's just not in the plan, whatever the plan was, she said, echoing something almost philosophical, a surrender to randomness, to nature, to the uncontrollable architecture of life. And maybe that's what stings the most. Jennifer Aniston represents the paradox modern women live in, told to have it all, but punished for wanting it their own way. When she tried to conceive, she was mocked for failing. When she didn't adopt, she was called cold. When she embraced aging, she was accused of lying about her procedures. When she stayed single, she was pitied. No version of Jennifer Aniston, it seems, could ever satisfy the world's idea of what a woman should be. Her story, then, is not just about one actress. It's a mirror to a broader cultural sickness. The obsession with women's choices, bodies, and biology isn't journalism. It's voyeurism disguised as interest. Aniston's refusal to perform the perfect woman script is in itself a rebellion. And yet, despite everything, the gossip, the invasive speculation, the endless headlines, Jennifer Aniston remains curiously gracious. In every interview, even when she admits to being fed up, she maintains empathy. She never condemns women who did choose adoption or who found motherhood differently. She simply draws a line around her own story and says, "This was my truth." In an industry built on illusion, that kind of radical honesty is rare. It's also uncomfortable because to admit limits, to say, "I wanted this and it didn't happen," goes against everything Hollywood teaches, that you can manifest anything, that effort guarantees reward.